Darkness slowly faded. The human opened his eyes, but he did not understand what he was seeing. The light above him was soft and blue, not white like on Earth. The air felt clean but cold, carrying a strange smell he had never known. His body felt heavy, like it did not belong to him anymore. He tried to move his arms. He couldn't. Strong arms were already holding him. At first, fear rushed through his mind. His heart began to beat faster. He tried to scream, but his throat was dry. No sound came out. His eyes moved slowly, trying to understand where he was and who was holding him. That was when he saw her. She was not human. Her skin was smooth and pale, glowing softly under the alien light. Her eyes were deep and sharp, like they could see into his thoughts. Long silver hair fell over her shoulders, and her face was calm, almost gentle, but there was power in her presence. Dangerous power. She was holding him like he was something precious or something owned. Her voice was low and soft when she spoke. "You're awake," she said. "Good." He tried to pull away, but his body refused to listen. Panic filled his chest. His breathing became fast and shallow. He looked around again and finally noticed the room. It was large. The walls were smooth metal, covered in glowing symbols that slowly moved like living things. Tall figures stood at a distance, alien guards in dark armor. They were watching silently. Then something shocking happened. The guards slowly lowered themselves to one knee. They were kneeling, not to her, to him. The human's eyes widened. His fear mixed with confusion. Why would they kneel to him? He was just a human, weak, small, lost. The woman noticed his expression and smiled slightly. "You don't understand yet," she said, "but you will." She leaned closer, her face only inches from his. He could feel her breath, warm and steady. "You're mine now, human." Her words sent a chill through his entire body. He wanted to ask questions. Where was he? Why him? What did she want? But his mouth still would not move. His thoughts felt slow, like something was holding them back. She gently placed a hand on his chest. "Easy," she said. "Your mind is still waking." She stood up, lifting him with her as if he weighed nothing. The human realized then how strong she was. Stronger than any human could ever be. As she carried him forward, the guards moved aside, lowering their heads. Some looked afraid. Others looked angry. That scared him more than anything. She walked toward a large window. Beyond it, stars filled the sky, thousands of them. Massive ships floated outside, larger than cities. This was not Earth, not even close. "This is my empire," she said calmly. "And you are safe here, for now." She turned and looked down at him again. "I watched your species for a long time," she continued. "Humans were weak, broken, easy to destroy." The human felt pain in his chest at her words. "But you," she said, her eyes narrowing, "you survived something no one else did." She gently touched his forehead. A sharp pain exploded inside his head. Images flashed through his mind, fire, darkness, screaming metal, and a deep silence after. His body shook, but she did not pull away. "You should have died," she whispered, "but you didn't." The pain faded. She straightened and looked toward the guards. "Prepare him," she ordered. "Yes, Princess," they replied together. Princess. The word echoed in his mind. She was royalty, power, authority beyond anything he understood. As she began to walk away, the human felt fear rise again. He did not want to be alone in this place. She stopped. Without turning around, she spoke one last sentence. "The human will stand beside me." The guards froze. Shock spread across their faces. The princes walked out of the room, leaving the human staring at the glowing ceiling, his heart racing. He didn't know why he was chosen. He didn't know what he was becoming. But one thing was clear. His life on Earth was over. And something far greater and far more dangerous had just begun. The chamber became silent after the princess left. The human lay still on the glowing platform, staring at the ceiling. The light above him moved slowly, like a living sky. His body still felt weak, but his mind was clearer now. Fear stayed with him, heavy and constant. He was not a prisoner. That thought frightened him more. 2 alien guards stepped forward. Their armor was dark and sharp, but they did not touch him. Instead, they waited, as if afraid to make a mistake. "She chose you," one of them said quietly. The other guard looked away. That has never happened before. Before the human could understand what they meant, the room changed. The light dimmed. The walls opened silently, revealing a long hall beyond. The guards stepped aside. The princess returned. She walked alone, without armor, without weapons. Yet the air itself seemed to move away from her. Her eyes focused on the human. Not cold, not kind, watching, measuring. "You are afraid," she said. He did not answer. He could not. "That is good," she continued. "Fear keeps you alive." She waved her hand, and invisible force lifted him gently from the platform. He floated toward her, slowly, as if gravity obeyed her will. "I am Princess Zira of the Valorian Empire," she said. "Daughter of conquerors, ruler of stars." She placed him back down, standing now. His legs shook, but he did not fall. "You were taken from your world during a conflict you did not understand," she said. "Your ship was destroyed. Every being aboard died." Her eyes locked onto his, "Except you." A deep silence followed. She began to walk, and without choice, he followed. His feet moved as if guided by unseen hands. They entered a massive hall. The ceiling was so high, he could not see the top. Symbols floated in the air, forming images of planets, wars, and dying stars. "This is the Hall of Truth," she said. "No lies exist here." She raised her hand. The symbols changed. Earth appeared, small, blue, fragile. "Your world is young," she said. "Your people fight each other while the universe watches." Her voice grew harder. "The council wanted your species erased." The human's heart dropped. "But I said no," she continued calmly. She turned toward him. "Because humans adapt." She stepped closer. "When your ship broke apart, your body should have failed. Your mind should have shattered. But you endured." She placed her hand near his chest again. This time he felt warmth. "Your mind bent instead of breaking." She stepped back. "That makes you dangerous." The hall doors suddenly opened. Several alien figures entered. Older, powerful. Their eyes glowed with authority. "The council is displeased," one said. Another added, "You broke tradition by claiming a human." The princess did not turn to them. "I claimed what I needed," she replied. "The Empire will not accept this," a council member warned. "Humans are weak." She finally faced them. Her eyes burned. "Humans are not weak," she said slowly. "They are unfinished." The council members fell silent. She turned back to the human. "They will try to take you," she said. "They will test you, break you." She lowered her voice. "I will not allow that." She placed a small device into his hand. It glowed softly. "This will protect your mind," she said. "For now." One of the council members stepped forward. "If he fails," he said, "we end him." The princess smiled. "If he fails," she replied, "I burn the council to ash." The room froze. The council members left without another word. The human stood there, shaking. She looked at him once more. "You were ordinary," she said. "That is why you survived." She turned to leave. "Rest," she added. "Tomorrow, your awakening truly begins." As the doors closed behind her, the human looked at his trembling hands. He was still human. But not for long. And somewhere deep inside him, something new stirred, quiet, waiting, and hungry. The human woke up alone. The room was quiet, too quiet. Soft blue light filled the space, and the walls slowly changed color like breathing skin. He sat up carefully. This time, his body obeyed him. His head felt clear, but his chest felt tight, as if something unseen was watching. He was dressed in strange clothes, now smooth, dark fabric that felt warm against his skin. It moved slightly when he breathed. He stood up. The floor reacted, glowing beneath his feet. A voice spoke from the air. "Follow." A doorway opened without a sound. He hesitated, then stepped forward. Outside the room, the palace stretched endlessly. Wide halls curved like rivers of metal and light. Alien beings moved through them, tall, short, armored, robed, some with glowing eyes, some with skin like stone. Every one of them noticed him. Conversation stopped. Eyes followed. Fear, anger, curiosity. He felt it all without a word being spoken. Some aliens stepped back as he passed. Others stared openly. One creature hissed under its breath. A human. 2 guards walked beside him. They did not touch him, but they watched everything. Their hands rested near their weapons. "Why are they looking at me like that?" the human finally asked. His voice sounded strange to his own ears, quiet, careful. "Because you are alive." One guard replied. "And because she claimed you," the other added. They reached a massive balcony. The view stole his breath. A city spread below, towers floating in the air, bridges of light connecting them. Ships moved silently between buildings. Far beyond the city, a giant planet filled the sky, its surface glowing with storms. "This is Valoria," the guard said. "Heart of the Empire." The human swallowed. "I don't belong here," he said. The guards exchanged a look. "No," one said slowly. "You don't." A deep horn sounded across the city. The guards stiffened. "She is calling," one said. They turned and led him into a wide chamber, filled with hundreds of beings. At the far end, raised above everyone, stood the princess. She wore armor now sleek and silver, glowing faintly. Her presence filled the room. When she raised her hand, silence fell instantly. She looked down at the crowd. "Today," she said, "I present my chosen human." A wave of shock spread through the chamber. The human felt every eye turn toward him. "Humans are weak," someone shouted. Another voice followed. "This is an insult." The princess did not raise her voice. Silence. The room obeyed. She stepped forward, descending slowly toward him. "This human survived the void," she said. "He endured what crushed warriors and machines alike." She stood beside him now. "He stands under my protection." Murmurs filled the chamber. A tall alien with dark markings stepped forward. His voice was sharp. "Protection does not make him worthy," he said. "Test him." The word echoed. "Test." The princess looked at the human. "Are you afraid?" she asked quietly. He thought of Earth, of his past life, of how everything familiar was gone. "Yes," he answered honestly. She nodded. "Good," she said again. "Then you will learn." The floor changed. A circular platform rose around them. The crowd stepped back. "This is not a test of strength," the princess announced. "It is a test of will." The platform darkened. The human felt pressure on his mind. Memories surfaced: loss, fear, pain. The destruction of his ship, the silence after. He fell to one knee. Voices whispered in his head. "Give up," he clenched his fists. "No," he whispered. The pressure increased. The princess watched closely. Something inside him shifted. He stood. The whispers stopped. The platform light returned. The room went silent. The princess smiled, not with kindness, but with pride. "The test begins tomorrow," she said. "And those who try to harm him before then," her eyes scanned the room, "will answer to me." The crowd slowly dispersed. As the human was led away, he did not see the shadow watching from above. A message was already being sent. Kill the human before he awakens fully. The Empire had chosen its sides. And the human stood at the center of it all. Night came. To the alien palace, though the stars outside never slept. The human rested in a quiet chamber, sitting on the edge of his bed. The room was dark except for thin lines of blue light along the walls. His mind would not calm. Every sound felt loud. Every shadow felt alive. He knew something was coming. Far above the palace, hidden among the high towers, figures moved silently. They wore black armor that absorbed light. Their eyes glowed red as they passed through security fields without alarms. Assassins. Their target was simple, the human. Inside the chamber, the human suddenly felt cold. His chest tightened. The air changed. The door opened without sound. 3 figures stepped inside. He stood up quickly, his heart pounding. He tried to move back, but his legs felt heavy again. One assassin raised a blade that shimmered like liquid darkness. Before the strike could fall, the wall exploded. Metal and light shattered outward as a silver blur crashed into the room. The princess. She landed between the human and the assassins, her armor glowing brightly. Her eyes burned with controlled fury. "You were warned," she said calmly. The assassins attacked together. She moved like a storm. Her blade formed from light, cutting through armor and flesh with ease. One assassin fell instantly. Another was thrown across the room, crashing into the wall. The third slipped past her, straight toward the human. The assassin's blade pierced. The human sighed. Pain exploded through his body. He gasped, falling to the floor. His blood spread across the glowing surface. "No!" the princess shouted. She killed the assassin in a single strike, then rushed to the humans. Sighed. She dropped to her knees, pressing her hand over the wound. The room shook as alarms screamed through the palace. "Stay with me," she ordered. The human's vision blurred. The ceiling faded in and out. He could hear her voice, but it felt far away. He thought of dying. Again, something inside him snapped. A deep pressure filled his chest, stronger than pain. Heat spread through his body, pushing back the darkness. His blood began to glow faintly. The princess froze. She felt it. Impossible. She whispered. The human's hand gripped her wrist. His eyes opened. They were glowing. The wound stopped bleeding. Slowly, painfully, he stood up. The alarms outside went silent. The palace guards rushed in, but stopped when they saw him standing. The human looked at the dead assassin, then at the princess. His voice was calm, strong. "Get away from her." The guards stepped back. The princess stared at him, shock clear on her face. "You shouldn't be able to do this," she said. "I don't know how," he replied. "But I won't let them hurt you." More soldiers entered the room. Elite council guards. Their leader raised his weapon. "The human is unstable," he said. "Step aside, princess." She stood tall. "No." The human stepped forward instead. "You want me?" he asked. "Try." The air trembled. The guards hesitated. For the first time, fear crossed their faces. The princess placed a hand on his shoulder. "Enough," she said quietly. The energy around him slowly faded. His legs shook. She caught him before he fell. She looked at the guards with burning eyes. "Leave," she commanded. They obeyed. When the room was empty, she helped him sit down. "You were not supposed to awaken yet," she said softly. He looked at his glowing hands, now slowly returning to normal. "What am I becoming?" he asked. She did not answer right away. Instead, she said, "You are becoming proof." Outside the chamber, far from the palace, a council transmission activated. "The human has awakened," a voice said. Another replied, cold and sharp, "Then we no longer have a choice." The screen went dark. War was no longer a future threat. It had begun. The palace medical chamber was quiet. Soft light moved slowly across the walls as the human lay on a raised platform. Machines hovered around him, scanning his body. Thin lines of energy flowed across his skin, warm but gentle. He was awake. His eyes followed the movement of the lights above him. The princess stood nearby, watching in silence. "You should be dead," she said at last. He turned his head toward her. "I keep hearing that." She did not smile. "What happened in that room was not chance," she continued. "It was not luck." She stepped closer, and a screen appeared in the air between them. Images formed: humans running, fighting, surviving disasters, rebuilding after destruction. "Your species is fragile," she said. "Your bodies break easily. Your technology is slow. Your worlds are divided." The human felt anger rise, but he stayed silent. "But," she added, "you adapt faster than any species we have ever seen." The images changed. Humans learning. Humans copying alien tech. Humans surviving impossible environments. "When exposed to pressure," she said, "most species collapse. Humans change." She looked directly at him. "You do not evolve slowly," she said. "You awaken." The machines beeped softly. "Your mind accepted the energy meant to destroy you," she continued. "It rewrote you instead." The human sat up slowly. His body felt stronger now. "Different. So I'm not human anymore?" he asked. She shook her head. "You are still human," she said. "That is the danger." She dismissed the screen and turned away. "The council fears you," she said. "Not because of what you are, but because of what your kind could become." The doors opened. A council delegation entered the chamber, guarded by soldiers. Their leader, tall and old, stepped forward. "The human is a threat," he said. "End this now." The princess turned sharply. "You tried," she replied, "and you failed." The council leader ignored her and looked at the human. "You were never meant to survive," he said coldly. "Your existence breaks balance." The human met his gaze. "Maybe the balance was wrong," he said quietly. Murmurs spread through the chamber. The council leader raised his hand. "We will test him," he declared. "Final trial. If he fails, he dies." The princess moved, instantly standing between them. "No," she said. "He has proven enough." "You do not rule alone," the council leader replied. She looked at the human. "This test will hurt," she warned. "It may change you forever." The human nodded. "I've already lost everything," he said. "I won't run." The test chamber was cold and empty. Energy fields surrounded the human. Pressure filled the air, heavier than before. Memories returned: fear, loss, survival. He clenched his teeth. The pressure increased. He screamed. Then something strange happened. Instead of breaking, his mind adapted. The pain turned into clarity. He stood tall. The energy bent around him. Outside the chamber, the council watched. In silence. "This is impossible," one whispered. The princess smiled slightly. The test ended. The human fell to one knee, but he was alive. The chamber doors opened. The council leader stepped back. "This changes nothing," he said. "It changes everything," the princess replied. She helped the human stand. "You are no longer just mine," she said softly. "You are a symbol." Far away, on a hidden human world, ancient signals awakened. Sleeping systems powered on. Humanity was responding. The galaxy had made a mistake. It had touched humanity before it was ready. And now humanity was waking up. The galaxy did not sleep. Across hundreds of systems, alarms sounded. Fleets moved. Ancient treaties broke. In silence, the news spread faster than light, faster than fear. A human had survived, and worse. A human had changed. In the great war chamber of the Valorian Empire, The council gathered. Massive screens showed star maps filled with moving ships. Red symbols spread like fire. The human is a trigger, one council member said. Other species are afraid. They should be, another replied. Humans do not know their limits. The princess stood at the center of the chamber, calm and unshaken. You caused this, the council leader said to her. By choosing him, she did not deny it. Yes, she said. And I would do it again. A new symbol appeared on the map. Human signals, primitive, yet impossible. They are responding, a council member whispered. They were not supposed to be capable of this, another said. The human stood beside the princess now, wearing simple armor designed for him. He felt the weight of the room pressing down, but he did not step back. They're scared, he said quietly. The council turned toward him. They should be, he repeated. You took us, tested us, broke us. The council leader stepped forward. You are one human, he said. Your species is nothing. The human met his eyes. Every war you've ever fought started that way. The room fell silent. Outside the palace, the sky burned with movement. Fleets gathered, alien warships forming lines across space. Weapons charged. The princess raised her hand. Open a channel, she ordered. A massive screen activated. Human faces appeared. Tired, angry, determined. The human stepped forward. I was taken, he said, but I'm alive. Shock spread across the human commanders. They are watching us, he continued. They think we are weak, he paused. Let's prove them wrong. Across space, human ships powered up. Old designs rebuilt fast. Changed. The first shot did not come from humans. An alien fleet opened fire. Space erupted. The war began without warning. Explosions lit the void. Ships broke apart. Energy weapons tore through armor. The human watched in silence. Do something, a council member demanded. The princess turned to the human. Are you ready? She asked. He nodded. I was born ready, he said. She placed her hand on his shoulder. Then lead. The human stepped forward and gave the order. Human fleets moved with unexpected precision. They adapted mid-battle, changed formations instantly, copied enemy tactics in real time. Alien commanders panicked. They're learning too fast. They're predicting us. Human ships took damage but kept fighting, kept improving. The tide began to turn. The council leader backed away from the screen. This was a mistake, he whispered. The princess watched the battle, her eyes steady. No, she said. This is balance. The human clenched his fists. For too long, he said. You decided who mattered. A massive alien flagship exploded on the screen. The room shook. This war ends now, the human said. But deep space answered with silence. Then a new signal appeared. Unknown, ancient, even the princess felt fear. The council leader stared at it. What is that? The human looked at the signal, his heart racing. He did not recognize it, but somehow it recognized him. The war had awakened something older than all of them, and it was coming. The unknown signal spread across the galaxy like a shadow. Every screen in the war chamber flickered. Ships slowed. Weapons stopped charging. Even the stars seemed to hold their breath. The human stared at the signal. His head hurt, not with pain, but with memory. Not his own older, deeper. This signal. He whispered. It's calling us. The council members panicked. That is impossible, one said. Humans have no ancient tech. The princess said nothing. Her eyes were fixed on the human. What do you hear? She asked. He closed his eyes. Voices filled his mind, not words, but feelings, survival, endurance, rage, hope. It's a defense system, he said slowly. Left behind for us. The galaxy listened. Long ago, before empires, before councils, something had passed through human space. Something that saw humanity not as weak but unfinished. It left a gift. Not weapons. Potential. Across hidden human worlds, ancient machines awakened fully. Human fleets changed again, stronger, faster, smarter. Not copied. Built. The alien fleets froze. They shouldn't be able to do this. A commander cried. They were never meant to, the human replied. Princess stepped forward, standing beside him in full view of the council. Do you understand now? She asked them. You did not awaken a human. You awakened humanity. The unknown signal focused. A massive structure appeared in space, larger than any ship, older than any empire. It did not attack. It waited. The human stepped closer. To the screen. This war is over, he said. Not because we won, but because we are done being tested. Silence followed. Then, one by one, alien fleets powered down their weapons. The council leader lowered his head. We surrender, he said. The galaxy changed in that moment. Days later, the war chamber was full again, but different. No fear. Number. Shouting. The human stood at the center. Not chained. Not guarded. Chosen. The princess approached him. She removed her crown and placed it on a nearby stand, in front of this council. She said, I claim no ownership over him. The room TENCD. She took his hand. I stand with him by choice, she continued, as equals. The human looked at her, surprised. She smiled softly. My human, she said, is no longer just mine. He belongs to the future. The council accepted. A new treaty formed, one that included humanity not as subjects, but as partners. Outside the palace, humans and aliens stood side by side for the first time. The human looked out at the stars. Earth was still far away, but it was no longer alone. The princess stood beside him on the balcony. Do you regret waking up? She asked. He thought for a moment. No, he said. I regret how long we slept. She laughed quietly. The galaxy would remember this moment, not as the rise of an empire, but as the moment humanity stood up. And the universe learned to fear it.